Hello all, today I will discuss FET biasing topic. In this video I will discuss the DC analysis of junction field effect transistor. As we have already discussed the Q point and need of biasing in the case of bipolar junction transistor. Similarly in the case of FET also, there are various parameters which are temperature dependent, and due to the change of those parameters there will be shift in the Q point. For example, with the increase in the temperature, the drain resistance will increase in the case of FET, and due to this the drain current will reduce. Due to this shift in the drain current, the value of Q point will also change. So there is a need of the biasing so that our Q point will be maintained at a particular point. So before discussing this biasing configuration, let's first have an overview or a comparison between the BJT and the JFETs. As both are 3-terminal device, we can say that the base of the BJT is almost similar to the gate of the JFET, collector as the drain of the JFET and emitter as the source. In this, as BJT is a current control device, the IB current will control the flow of the output current, that is collector current. Whereas in the JFET, the VGS, that is the voltage across gate source terminal, will control the flow of ID, and that's why it is called as voltage controlled device. If we look at the relation between the input and the output and the IB and IC, we see IC is equal to beta IB. It means the curve between them is a linear curve. Whereas in the case of JFET, ID is equal to function of VGS, and using the Shockley equation we can say ID is equal to IDSS into 1 minus VGS by VP whole square, which shows that ID and VGS are non-linearly related with each other, means their curve will be non-linear. In the case of BJT, the Q point will be was defined as IC and VCE, where ICQ and VCQ are the values of IC and VCE at point Q. Whereas in the case of JFET, we mostly use IDQ and VGSQ. We can also use VDSQ and IDQ, but for that we will have a different curve. But using the ID and the VGS curve, we can find the value of Q point using these two values. Now there are two methods of evaluating the fixed bias and the self bias or other different biasing configurations. First method is the mathematical analysis and the mathematical approach, and second is the graphical approach. So let's discuss these approaches for the first two biasing configurations in the case of JFET. First biasing configuration is the fixed bias configuration. This is the circuit diagram of fixed bias configuration. In this configuration we can see that a voltage VGG is connected at the gate of this JFET and a voltage VDD is connected. It means two voltage sources are connected over here. Two capacitors are also connected, C1 and C2, one at the input and other at the output, and one resistor RG is connected at the gate. Now for the DC analysis, we know the reactance or the impedance of this capacitor C1 and C2 is infinity, because the frequency of the DC is equal to 0. It means for the DC analysis, these two capacitors will be open circuited. Also, due to the reverse biasing of this gate and source terminal, there will be high impedance in this, and due to the high impedance, the gate current will be equal to 0 or almost equal to 0. Due to this, the current going from this battery towards the gate terminal will be negligible, and we can say that the voltage drop across this resistor, that is nothing but RG into IG, will be almost equal to 0, or we can short circuit this resistor RG. Also, we can combine these two ground terminals together, and by doing all these things we can reduce our fixed bias configuration in the DC equivalent circuit like this. Now in this DC equivalent circuit we will find the value of VGS, ID and VDS. So let's first derive the value of VGS. To find the value of VGS, we will apply KVL in the input loop. As current is going from the negative terminal and coming into the positive terminal, I will take this voltage source negative. So it will be minus VGG, and this is a voltage drop, so it is minus VGS equal to 0, because these are the only two voltage sources available over here. So from this I can say that VGS is equal to minus VGG. Now look here, as the gate to source voltage or the controlling voltage over here is defined by a fixed voltage DC supply, That's why the name over here is fixed bias configuration. Second is to find the value of ID. By using the Shockley equation, we can say ID is equal to IDSS into 1 minus VGS by VP whole square. The value of IDSS and VP are available to us and will be available at the time of the numericals. By simply substituting the value of VGS at minus VGG, we can get the value of ID from here. Now there is a doubt to some students in my previous videos that what will be the polarity of this VP or the pinch off voltage. So always remember this thing, the polarity of VP will be exactly as the polarity of the VGS. For the N channel, the VGS is negative, it means VP must be negative, and for P channel, the VGS is positive, it means the VP will be also positive. Now third one is the VDS. To find the value of VDS, we will apply KVL in the output loop. Now VCC is the total voltage and we will find the drops across RD, VDS and then it will be grounded. So we can say that VCC is equal to, current is entering in this terminal, so it is positive, that is VCC is equal to IDRD plus of VDS. And from here VDS will come out to be VCC minus IDRD. Now this is all about the mathematical analysis of fixed bias configuration. Now next come to the graphical analysis or the graphical approach. For the graphical approach, we first draw the curve of ID and VGS. Now the curve of ID and VGS is derived or obtained by putting different values of VGS and obtaining the value of ID for those values. Using the Shockley equation of ID equal to IDSS into 1 minus VGS by VP whole square, if I put the value of VGS over here equal to 0, then my ID will be IDSS. If VGS is equal to VP, I will get ID equal to 0. And for VGS equal to VP by 2, my ID will be IDSS divided by 4. And for VGS equal to 0.3 of VP, I will get ID equal to IDSS by 2. Now by combining these points, I can obtain this curve. Now to obtain the Q point, I will make use of this, that VGS value. VGS over here is nothing but equal to minus VGG, means on this x-axis exactly at minus VGG, I will say that will be the value of my VGS, and I will draw a straight vertical line and that line will cut my curve at point this. And this point is nothing but my Q point. The values of current at this point will give, and the values of voltage will be the parameters of this Q point, and that is nothing but minus VGG comma IDQ. So this is all about fixed bias configuration. Next is self bias configuration. This is the circuit of self bias configuration. We can see here also that there are two capacitors C1 and C2, or the coupling capacitors, are connected at the input and the output. One resistor RD at the drain and the resistor RG at the gate of this JFET. But there are two differences in comparison to the fixed bias configuration. One is that there is a single source VCC over here, no VGG is present. Also one additional resistor is there, RS, connected at the source of this terminal. So let's see how these things are going to help us in providing more stability to the system. So for the DC analysis, this capacitor C1 and C2 will be open circuited because of infinite impedance, and this resistor RG will be replaced by a short circuit because IG is very small for this, and when IG is small, the drop across it will be small and it will be equal to 0. Now the equivalent circuit or the DC equivalent circuit will be somewhat like this, and in this also we will find three values, that is VGS, ID and the VDS. So to find the value of VGS, let's apply KVL in the input loop. In the input loop, we can see here there are only two voltages, VGS and VRS. So from the KVL we can say that minus of VGS minus of VRS equal to 0, and from that we can say VGS is equal to plus of VRS. Now VRS is nothing but the voltage across this resistor, that is equal to RS into IS, and as IG is very small, we can say IS is almost equal to the drain current. So from this we can say VRS is equal to RS into ID, and our VGS will come out to be minus ID into RS. Now second is to find the value of ID. Again using the Shockley expression, we can say ID is equal to IDSS into 1 minus VGS by VP whole square. Put the value of VGS from the above equation in this, and we will get ID is equal to IDSS into 1 plus of IDRS by VP whole square. Take the LCM and rearrange it. We will get ID is equal to IDSS into VP plus IDRS whole square divided by VP square. Third is VDS. VDS can be obtained by applying KVL in the output loop. While we are going from VCC to the ground, there will be drop across this RD, this VDS and RS. So from this we can say that VCC minus IDRD, because current is entering in this terminal, it is positive, minus VDS, and again current is entering in this terminal, so it will be minus RSIS, or I can use ID in place of IS, so I will say it minus RS into ID. So from here we can say that VDS will come out to be VCC minus ID into RD plus RS. Now look here why this is called as self-bias configuration. If we look here that VGS is depending upon the value of the current ID. It means if I increase the value of ID current, maybe due to the temperature or some other reasons, if the ID current increases, then definitely according to this relation VGS must increase. There must be an increase of VGS, and due to this increase in the VGS, as it is acting as a controlling voltage, this will reduce the value of ID and the drain current will reduce. So whatever the increase we have obtained due to the parameters of the temperature variations in the ID, that was compensated by the voltage G, gate source voltage VGS. That's why it is called as self-bias, because it is providing itself a reduction in the increase of the drain current. Next is the graphical approach for this self-bias configuration. Again, the curve of ID and VGS will be obtained for different values of VGS. We have obtained the same values of ID by putting value of VGS equal to 0.3 Vp, Vp by 2 and Vp in the Shockley expression. Now to obtain the curve or the Q point, we need two values because a straight line requires two values to be plotted. So first value we will obtain by putting the value of ID in this relation. So VGS is equal to minus ID by RS. By putting ID equal to 0, we will get VGS is equal to 0. So we will get this point. Second, we will get by putting value of ID equal to IDSS by 2. So exactly at this point we will get the value of VGS, that will come out to be equal to minus IDSS into RS by 2. So when we will see these points are two joining at the terminal B, we will connect these points. Let us assume this point is A and this point is B. We will draw a line intersecting these 2 points and we will get this brown color line, and this line will intersect this curve, and that point is called as the Q point. So by using this we can obtain the value of Q point using our graphical approach. So this is all about the fixed bias and the self bias configuration in the case of junction field effect transistors. Thank you very much.